country Vanuatu? I hadn't. 2 years ago, I found out that I had an opportunity to spend a few months there volunteering. And the first thing that I learned about this country after I Googled where it was is that it's a small island country in the South Pacific, and year after year, it's actually ranked #1 in the world for the happiest people on Earth. Well, after living there for a few months last year, I can tell you why. And it's because the people there are so good at living in the present moment without worry. One of the biggest lessons I learned while I was there was how to have a grateful heart and just recognize all the blessings that I have every day, every moment. While I was there, I bought this hand-woven basket. And inside the basket today, I filled it with 5 objects that represent my past, my present, and my future. To begin, I'll start with my first point, which is my past. I have 2 objects that represent my past. The first is this pin that I bought at Disneyland. It's of the Little Mermaid. This is meant to represent my love of movies, TV shows, books, all things stories. It's one of my favorite hobbies, and the Little Mermaid is still my favorite Disney princess. The second object that I have to represent my past is this giraffe. When I was a little girl, I was obsessed with giraffes, and I still get a lot of giraffe-themed gifts to this day from my family and friends, and I love it. This was given to me by my aunt, who bought it from an artist in Guatemala. My aunt actually runs a nonprofit that provides healthcare to people in Guatemala, and one of the things I'm working on right now is learning Spanish so that I can go with her on one of her trips next year. That brings me to my second point, which is my present. The first object I have to represent my present is this box of jelly beans. This is not just any box of jelly beans. If you know what this is, you know that some of the jelly beans in this box taste good, like chocolate pudding, and some of them taste awful, like canned dog food. This is meant to represent my love of laughter and having a good time. If you've ever played the game of eating these jelly beans with your friends, you know it is absolutely hilarious and it's really fun. The second object I have to represent my present is this. This is a goniometer, and it's used to take important measurements in physical therapy. This is meant to represent my time right now as a student and my goal of becoming a physical therapist assistant as a career in my future. Which brings me perfectly to my third point, which is my future. The object I have to represent my future is this ceramic piece. This was made for me by my sister, and I thought that it perfectly represented the importance of faith and family in my life. If you look at this, it has 2 levels. If this top part were to be filled, anything left over would spill into this bottom dish here. This is symbolic of a scripture in Psalms that says, "My cup runneth over." It's actually called a Havdalah cup, and if you notice, I actually cracked it. There's a big crack in the back because I once dropped it. That's why I thought this would be a perfect representation of my future, because the future is beautiful, but it just doesn't turn out or look like how you expect it. In conclusion, I have 5 objects here that represent my past, my present, and my future. Together, they all remind me of the importance of recognizing where I've been, where I'm going, and having a grateful heart for all of my experiences in life. To put it simply, I'll share something that one of my Vanuatu friends once told me. "Why are you worried? Life is good."